Norma, if it wasn't complicated, it wouldn't be government. Hey, I call the document first. I mean, the docket first. But Sean, two people died yesterday. Famous Amos. He passed.
Oh my goodness, famous Amos?
He was
Yes.
88 years old.
Yeah. And I'm just like, no. Oh, the other person who passed was Gina, I think her name is Gina Rollins. Okay, you know one great movie that she starred in that I loved and that we watched when we first had cable TV? And it was on HBO. Guess what it was? And if you haven't seen this movie deserved an Oscar. She deserved an Oscar. Everybody just think of her as being in The Notebook. But have you ever seen Gloria? Deputy Laura, you know what I'm talking. Okay, Gloria should be on everybody's movie list. Oh, that movie was awesome.
Felicia, did you watch Gloria? I don't know. It sounds familiar.
Oh, Gloria is awesome.
1980.
Yeah, I would love to see the Where Are We Now? The little boy who played in it. It was good. All right, but hey, it is Friday Eve. Mahia, you need to watch the movie Gloria. We need to watch that in honor of Gina Rollins. All right, everyone, I'm going to call the docket. When I call the docket, you need to stand and let me know you are here. We're going to pick up with jury trial at 11. So you probably need to pick up the phone and call your attorneys once you answer docket. Anything that is not solved by 10:45, you're probably going to come back on a day that it is inconvenient to you, which will probably be Monday. All right, in custody, we have Stephen Rowley, Christopher Esquivel.
Morning, Judge. He's president. We're
Thank you. Rick Contreras. Rick Contreras. I need to see the file on that. I think that may have been reset because I think his attorney is on vacation or something. Chong Tran. Chong Tran. Sergio Chavez. Is this the right docket? Arturo Campos, custody. Rosa Montoya. Thank you. Robert Castillo.
Yeah.
Catherine Aguilar, custody. Martin Torres. Humberto Caceres, custody. Is this Lana Ayana? Deputy Laura? Yana? Yana Ganal? Yana Ganal. Anthony Villarreal Jr. Thank you. Roland Miller. Samuel Albert Gell. All right, thank you. Jordan Davis.
He's present with counsel when we're ready, Your Honor.
Thank you. Fred Meneses, custody. John Thunert. Thank you. That last name is like a superhero last name, like Thundercats, you know? Michael Hernandez, custody. Joshua Montes. Jason Bustos, custody. James Katina, custody. Tawana Adams, custody. Rita Dela Cruz, custody. Adam Stacy, custody. Michael Kilgore, custody. Stephanie Cladd, custody. Kelly Cotner.
She's present, Judge. We have two off docket matters.
All right, thank you. Enrique Cura Jr. Jose Cavazos. All right, is there anyone who's present and your name was not called? Yes, what is your name? I'm sorry, what? Brenda Carpenter. Do you have a case number or SID number? All right, have you had contact with your attorney?
Yes, sent a message that, they rescheduled, they're having issues with software. I wanted to make it out.
All right, that's a good call. But next time, if you call the court, we'll let you know. Just give us a second. We're gonna look it up. Anyone else? All right, everyone, these are the rules of the court. And if you follow these rules, this Friday Eve will be a great day. We're starting trial at 11. Everything needs to be done by 10:45. If it's not done by 10:45, you're gonna come back on Monday. Criminal trial division files are there. Family violence files are there with Zach. Please confer with the state. Do not approach the court unless you confer with the state and confer with your client. If your client is in custody, your client needs to be brought out. If your client wishes to speak to the court in a language other than English, you'll need an interpreter called down. Court reporter is to my left. Attorneys, listen to me clearly. If you have a client who's in custody, and if they are in the box, and we're on the record, you know we're on the record because I will have called the style of the case. Do not talk behind the court reporter because people don't know how to whisper. Everybody here, except maybe people who come to talk to me when we're on the record will be horrible spies because people don't know how to whisper. So just let the deputy know that you need to move your person to the other end and they will do that. All right, so those are my instructions. Please follow them and let's have a great day. Oh, Zach, you need to see the movie Gloria with Gina Rowlands.
Glory.
Gloria.
Oh, Gloria.
Mm-hmm.
On the list, Judge.
All righty. All right, let me see who is in this. Number, we have Natasha Torres by Zoom.
Just went to the back.
Ah.
Yeah, moving through, we're barreling through. Even today, that's one. We will.
All right, everyone, you need to start your video.
A little bit of matching going on. Yes, I am. We plan it. Well, one will.
All right, the person who is at Whataburger or McDonald's, what is your name? The iPhone person. No problem.
Tempting to approach Judge, is that all right?
No, just 1 second. All right, iPhone. Who is this Alejandro person?
Thank you.
All right, Alejandro, what's your name? Alejandro? Natasha Torres, can you unmute?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Who's your client?
Your Honor, Arturo Campos Toledo, this was the individual detained in need of the interpreter.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, can I see the file on her client, please? Toledo. Campos, I think. Natasha, how's the trial going with your dad?
So I think we'll be here late Friday evening. Today's day 4, and the state has 5 additional witnesses. It's going to be a long day, but it's okay. We're going. We're still here.
Okay. All right. Norma? State, this is your case, Toledo.
Yes, Judge.
How long do you think this trial is going to last?
No more than a week. I don't know if counsel would disagree with that.
No,
All
Your Honor,
right.
I think that's appropriate. I apologize.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, 3-day trial, family violence, please.
Oh, okay.
All right, you all will be in impact on November 4th.
Yes, Your Honor, that will work.
All right, good luck on your trial.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. You have a great day. Thank you for letting me appear via
Second.
Zoom.
Wait a minute, Natasha, before you leave.
Yes,
I think your client, is this Erica Campos? Is she with your client?
on Zoom or in person?
Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's in custody, Your Honor.
All right, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this.
Testing, testing. Testing.
Me, oh, sorry. Sir, what's your name?
Dole Brown Wilmot.
All right, we're gonna get the defense attorney here shortly. So I'll put you in the waiting room and then we'll have the defense attorney come in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Sorry about that. I saw that coming.
No problem. All right, David Gallant.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, who are you here for?
I am here on the Castillo matter.
He says he's here on Castillo.
I'm assuming that.
All right, I'm gonna put you in a breakout room, in a waiting room, and then as soon as Mr. McLean arrives, we'll put you all in a room together. Alejandro, iPhone.
Yes,
Need to show your video.
let me. Hello,
All right, who are you here for?
Arturo Campos.
All right, what's your name?
Alejandro Campos.
I'll be back.
All right, which attorney has an Alejandro Castro? He says
Campos.
here for Arturo Campos. Yes.
Isn't that the? No, that's the Tasha's client. It's probably a.
All right, are you a witness?
No,
All right, why are you here?
Oh, think my family sent me if you want to see the Zoom meeting, because I'm not
Yeah,
usually
I'm
there.
sorry. Here's the thing. Family members are not allowed to Zoom in. The person who's supposed to Zoom in is the person who is on the docket. Do you understand?
Oh, okay, yes.
All right, thank you. His
Sorry.
attorney will give you a call.
Okay.
All right, does anyone know Erica Campos? All right, Kelly Cottner. Come forward.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay, why are we here?
Judge, first.
Two
thing-
things, yeah.
Well, Judge, the first thing is that the blood discovery order was never signed. So we need that in order to actually send off and get. the
Okay,
discovery.
I've signed it previously, but I'll sign it again.
You signed it?
Yeah, I've signed it previously. I remember signing this.
I've been looking all over for the order. I went to two clerks and they didn't find it.
And you want to sign that, Mr. Escobar?
Yes, Judge.
And Ms. Ferguson, if you can make a copy for them of that or have the clerks give him a copy.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
And we're here on a motion to alter and amend conditions of bond.
Or do you need that?
All right. There's. All right. Yes,
She's here, but okay, sorry.
need to have the state up here. All right, you ready?
Yes, Judge.
Marie, are you ready? Court is calling 2024 CR 6359, State of Texas versus Kelly Cottner. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense,
George Sharman on behalf of Ms. Cobb.
are you Ms. Cottner?
Yes, Judge.
All right, defense has filed a motion to alter and amend bond conditions. They're asking for removal of the GPS monitor. State, do you have any objections?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are your objections?
Judge, I believe this is the defendant's DWI, for the protection of the community. I think that the GPS should stay in place. Again, this is for the safety of the community. This is something that it's been an issue where when she gets in a car, there's possibility that she could be drinking. So that's what the state's main concern is.
All right, is she on a ignition interlock?
Yes, I am.
Well, no, excuse me, don't do that unless you're called as a
Sorry, I thought you
witness. Does ignition interlock address that issue or does it not address the issue?
Judge, again, the worry is that the frequency of the DWI is the number is that an ignition interlock on one car doesn't mean that she's completely unable to get into another car. So that's why the state's concern for GPS is also to have that in place to even extra protection.
All right, so how will GPS show she's not in a vehicle though?
Well, Judge, if she has any type of full house arrest or partial, we know where she is, we know what type of hours, what her movement's gonna be. If she's not on GPS and we have no idea where she's going, she can leave her car with the ignition interlock there at her home and then immediately get into a car that's not with the ignition interlock.
All right, so she has put in here, or at least there's a letter attached to the motion stating that she is helping someone go to their doctor's appointments. So do you have any objections to her going to doctor's appointments with
Cool.
someone?
Her doctor's appointments, no.
No. It's to another person, Mr. Eloy Lopez.
Really.
Have you had a chance to to read the affidavit that is attached to the motion?
I have to take this real quick.
That's for him.
No, it's not. It's just attached to the motion.
It's not.
Again, I'm reading it. Really just.
All right, thank you. All right, so State, did you have a chance to review the affidavit attached to the motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you still have your same objections?
Yes.
All right, first question, defense.
Yep.
Is this, the state has said that she has allegedly over 8 DWIs. Does she allegedly have over 8 DWIs?
That have been alleged, yes.
Okay. All right, so you've heard the state's concerns.
Well, I would like Ms. Cotner just to tell you why she needs to do this.
All right, can you raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Kelly Cotner.
All right, you may ask your questions.
Okay, Ms. Cotner, just explain to the judge why you need to get that off of you to help this gentleman. Why?
I am currently the caretaker for an elder gentleman by the name of Eloy Lopez Senior. And Mr. Lopez is 87 years old. And he has some cognitive decline. And he's recently I helped him recover. I administered drops and whole recovery from 2 cataract surgeries. He loves me like a daughter now. I do everything. I feed him. I wash his dishes. I make sure that he does not have any falls. He uses a walker to get around, and he depends on me. And he cries and you know, he really cares for me, and I'm enjoying and getting a lot of fulfillment out of helping this man because he genuinely needs this help. He's hard of hearing, and when he goes to doctors or stores, I'm very gentle and kind with him, and he's not afraid to speak with me, and I can understand what he's trying to say rather than a stranger who might not be familiar with him might yell at him and try to understand what he's trying to say. I've been able to do that with doctors, nurses, and secretaries, etc. And this man loves me like a daughter, and I would like to be able to take him in an Uber comfortably and assist him at the doctor's office, at the grocery store where he can pick out his favorite groceries, which I provide for him.
All right, why can't that be done with GPS?
Well,
No,
she, go ahead.
no, she's on the witness stand. Why can't that be done with GPS?
Well, Your Honor, I've had no violations after 8.5 months on
No, no, no. My
GPS.
question is, why can't that be done with the GPS?
Well, I have to put in 24 hours notice for any GPS needs, which I've been able to do successfully for any needs of my own. But Mr. Eloy Lopez sometimes thinks right at the moment that he might need.
All right, State, with regards to her testimony, do you have any questions?
How long have you been employed by Mr. Lopez?
Since January of 2024.
And so far, you've had no issues reporting to probation or to pretrial any type of trip that you take to help him out. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So far, you've been able to accommodate helping him while also being on GPS.
Made it happen. It's been difficult, but yes.
Nothing further to say.
All right, any other questions?
Well, Ms. Codner, are you asking to be able to take him to other locations that you do not have access to right now?
Well, I have access to, what do you?
Well, in other words, you are in lockdown at home, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if he needs to go somewhere, you can't take him without permission, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. Are you asking the judge to allow you to take him where he needs to go without having to contact pretrial services?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is the court's suggestion. My suggestion is you all step back. I'm not going to remove GPS. The problem is, one, people in my court, I don't allow them to be home healthcare providers, and that's what she's doing. However, she's not been convicted of this offense for the court. So the occupation is her occupation. I'm assuming, hopefully, that the family knows her history before they hired her. So I'm not going to remove the GPS. Y'all need to step back and work on a schedule. And that will be her schedule because she is on partial. So y'all work on a schedule that includes the person that she is caring for. And I would suggest that an address for that gentleman be included in this. All right, is there anything else?
Nothing to say.
I'll get with the state on that.
And if y'all will work on that, then we'll come back.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jennifer is here, okay. All right, who's here on Jordan Elijah Davis? Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, Mr. Davis, before we go on the record, your attorney has filed a motion to withdraw from your case. Are you going to have any objections to that?
Well, can I just express, what's been going on between me and her?
No, no, no. Here's the thing. I want you to listen to my questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorney-client relationship with her, that's a relationship between you two.
Mhm.
The whole issue is you have hired her, am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
She no longer wants to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to have any objections or disagreement with her being released from her representation of you?
No, ma'am. The only objection that I have is as far as the contract.
Oh, here's the thing.
Okay, yes. ma'am.
I don't interfere in a contract between an attorney and a client. That's a different court. This is a criminal court, okay?
Yes.
So we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 5244, State of Texas versus Jordan Elijah Davis. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Jody Sawyers.
And are you Mr. Davis? All right, your attorney has filed a motion to withdraw. State, do you have any objections? All right, state, you may be excused. Mr. Davis, do you have any objections to her withdrawing from your case? All right, then that will be granted. You're excused.
Okay.
Mr. Davis, do you need an attorney appointed to you?
For the time being, yes, ma'am.
No, it's not the time being. Do you need an attorney appointed to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just have a seat and we'll make sure we get an attorney for you, all right?
Thank
You're welcome. Who's here on Albert Samuel? Samuel, I'm sorry, so Samuel Joseph Albert. All right, if you'll come forward, please. So, Mr. Cabanas, your jury trial has concluded.
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right, on this case, you received all of the discovery.
I did, Your Honor.
State, were you able to tender an offer?
I have not heard about all.
All right, are you able to give an offer today?
I have, yes. That's right, Judge. So we filed and I have for the court 2 motions to lower bond.
All right, State, have you reviewed with him the,
I have reviewed the 2 motions that on last, number 657D. And then also 655A.
okay,
I know there's 3 indicted cases. I know at least 2 not indicted cases. Maybe.
all right, are you all ready to proceed on the motions? All right, we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2024 CR 4655A and 2024 CR 4657B, State of Texas versus Samuel Joseph Albert Jr. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Jason Garrett.
for the defense?
Good morning, Judge. Alfonso Cabañas for Mr. Samuel Joseph Albert Jr.
And are you Mr. Albert Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and each of these cause numbers, the defense has filed a motion requesting that the bond be reduced. And each cause number, the bond is currently set at $5,000. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Judge, just other than Mr. Albert, who wants to testify regarding the bond amount?
All right. Mr. Albert, can you raise your right hand?
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Off the record for a moment. Excuse me, Mr. McLean, and state. If you'll get the Zoom link from Ms. Ferguson, both of your experts are on Zoom. So I will send you all to a breakout room. I'm sorry, just give me one moment. All right, Mr. Wilmert and Mr. Gallant, I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 1. And the attorneys will meet you there.
Thank
So
you.
please go to breakout room number 1. And state and defense, the jury room is probably going to be occupied because we're in a trial. If you would like to go into the back offices, you can.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
All right, we're back on the record. Defense, it's your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Albert, you and I have been in contact regarding the bond amount. Yeah, you and I have been in contact regarding the respective bond amounts for case 4655A and 4657B, correct? And
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
and you and I have tried, or you've told me that you've tried to post the bond amount for these respective cases, but you have been unable because you're detained, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
And has your family been able to post these bonds for you?
Currently, sir, I'm at no bond, remanded without bond.
Okay. Has your family tried to either get the money, have they contacted the bond companies?
They have the money, sir, but I'm remanded without bond.
Okay. We're talking about these two cases, so these are the only ones that I'm representing you on. Okay. Are you asking the court on 4655A to lower the bond from 5,000 to 2,500?
Yes, sir.
And on 4657B, are you also asking the court to lower the bond from 5,000 to 2,500?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, is this an amount that you or your family can make to get you out on bond on these two cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to add to the court regarding these two cases and the respective bond amounts?
No, sir.
Okay. Nothing further, Judge.
All right, any questions?
Just a couple questions. What has your family or you've done to raise the funds to make your bond?
My family, all of my family has jobs, sir. Everyone has reached out, but I'm unable to make the bond because I guess, I don't want to be wrong, but to be right, I'm remanded without bond. And I'm not understanding. I've been incarcerated for 4 months now.
Well, you're actually remanded without bond on about at least 1 to 4 cases, but the 2 cases that we're here presently for, you have bond set at 5,000. And you're telling the court that you cannot make that $5,000 bond, is that correct?
To be honest, I can't make no bond remanded out without bond.
All right, so here's the question. We're not talking about the cases that you're remanded without bond on. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So get that out of your mind. Let's move away from that.
Yes, ma'am.
This attorney is representing you on 2 cases. On each of those cases, your bond is at $5,000. So focus on that. Don't think about the remand without bond. Focus on these cases. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So the state has asked, are you able to make the $5,000 bond in each of these cases?
No, ma'am.
All right. Do you have money to make those bonds?
The 2,500, yes, ma'am.
All right. Any other questions, State? Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. So here's the court's question. On the docket sheet, he has 5 burglary of buildings with intent to commit theft. The state is telling me, and I haven't pulled up Odyssey, but the state is telling me that he has more cases that have been unindicted. Is that correct?
Judge, I know he has 3 non-indicted cases, CM cases.
All
And
right.
3 indicted cases.
Okay, thank you. Can you give me the offense dates of those cases?
Yeah, that's what I was just kind of looking up at Odyssey.
All right, thank you.
I will be able to, I just need to get on to, I'll have that in 1 second, Judge, because I'll get on our old system.
Thank you.
Yes.
Defense, do you know the offense dates off the top of your head?
For the unindicted cases, Your Honor?
And I
No,
know you're not on those
I'm
cases.
sorry, Judge, I don't, I apologize.
No, no need to apologize. You're not on those cases.
On the docket, if you look, go into this, the offense dates are listed.
All right, so because they have that under subtype, I guess the writing is off. So according to the docket sheet,
It was
No,
on
we're-
January
we're-
7th.
okay,
Sorry, Judge, I do have the dates.
all right. So in CM 118202, what is the offense date?
It's January 7th, 2024, Judge.
And in CM 118206
Same day, Your Honor.
and CM 118207? 347
Same name.
and 2024 CR 4656A.
Today. January 6th, 2024, Your Honor.
And 2024 CR 4657B.
So,
And are there any other outstanding cases?
only the other indicted case, Your Honor, that's, 55, ending in 55A. And that one is also on January 7th.
All right, the court will hear argument. Defense is your motion, so you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. So with respect to cases 4655A and 4657B, the motions that are before the court today, Your Honor, the court has heard from my client and that his family has been unable to post bond on these two cases for the respective amounts. And therefore, we're asking the court to lower those bond amounts on those two cases so my client can post bond and then fight the other allegations as well. While not in custody.
All right, state.
Your Honor, just for the safety of the community and buildings, the fact is that this individual has no less than at least 6 pending early in the building cases. And so the state's question that it remain at $5,000.
All right, Mr. Albert, part of the court's considerations when setting a bond is, of course, whether or not you can make the bond, because a bond, the purpose of it is to make sure that you will appear for court. But the other thing for the court to consider when setting a bond is the community. For example, will the community be safe? And sometimes when people look at whether or not a community will be safe, people think individuals. You know, if is there danger to the complainant or the case, or are there dangers to just people in general in the community if a bond were lowered? In your case, you know, property, that's a danger. So what the court will do is the court is going to deny your application for bond reduction in each of the cause numbers. Is there anything else?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I just want to ask, may I have a bond for whatever case I don't have a bond for?
All right. Who is your attorney on those cases?
May I also speak again? In 2020, it's Rick. I was in this.
All right, just have a see what we're going to do. Ms. Ferguson, if you can see who the attorney is on the CM case numbers. All right, and if you can have Mr. Russell Mitchell appear, and defense, are you retained on these cases?
No, Judge, appointed.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, see if you can get in touch with Russell Mitchell. And then, Jason, if you'll tender an offer to the defense, and then defense, if you approach again, and I'll give you a court date if you need one.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge.
Joshua Montes. Christopher.
And state on Jose Cavazos. I didn't get any brief from you all.
Oh, Morn, it came about a week before.
Okay.
David filed his, where Morn had filed
Let me see if I can find it.
Have one if you need it.
Yes, please.
Ours is just our proposed memo.
All right, thank you. So I can have a chance to read that. And Mr.
Yeah.
McLean is currently in a breakout room with another expert, so as soon as he's back, we'll consider that.
We have some exhibits that I've already conferred on. I'll ask you. I mean, we can wait here. I just wanted you, didn't know if you wanted them.
All right, thank you. And Norma, if you could call Mr. Lopez. All right, who's here on Joshua Montes? All right, and where's Mr. Montes?
He's right here, Judge.
I'll wait to the front.
All right, so are you requesting a jury trial?
No, Judge, I think we've got a plea worked out. There's a few things that Mr. Montes needs to work out just with his employer regarding some of the conditions. And so I'll just be asking if we can come back next week and do the plea.
No, we can do the police today. And then I will set it for signature.
Okay, we can, that'll be fine, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, that's gonna be.
Yeah, and a part of that is for. I've done our diligence. Yes, records. They should have been turned in.
All right, for all the Texas people, as a favor to you, LSU will be beating Oklahoma this year. So you're all welcome. Excuse me, this is not like love vote or whatever. Why y'all hooked up? All right, Miss, are you on docket? Yes, you, female, are you on the docket? Were you late today?
Yes.
No, you were not. So you need to remove yourself from that front row. He doesn't need that kind of support. At least not in court.
Cool beans. Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, we will be defeating Oklahoma. So if you see Robert Mauer, hug him. Give him some sympathy.
You want to touch on Martin Torres?
Oh, that's a given.
Martin Torres.
It's gonna be an interesting year.
Since you time with my mother. Should be 94 on Sunday.
And I think you all need to talk to Mr. Cox about Florida, because I think he said he's beating Texas.
$4 for a trip up.
Martin Torres. Where's Mr. Torres? Come forward. Just give me 1 moment. All right, Miss Ferguson, that's 2 days. Just 1 second. I'm so sorry. Hey, Mom, I know, I got it. All right, thanks, Mom. Bye-bye.
The only thing that calls me judge is duty.
Oh, you're so funny. His jokes, people, his jokes. I don't even know why he's a prosecutor. He should go, I mean, he could make millions upon millions of dollars. All right. On August, Norma, on this case, we need a jury trial date and it's going to be 2 days. All right. It will be October 8th. All right, you have any questions?
Yes, Your- no, Your
Thanks for
Honor.
dressing always appropriately for court. I'm loving the 3-piece. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. But no, Zach,
Yes, Judge.
put put Gloria on your list of movies to
Oh, yeah,
watch
that's right. That's right.
with Gina Rollins. That movie really should have gotten an Oscar.
Yeah, adding it now, Judge.
All right, for the parties who are here on David McLean, Lauren, I don't know how long they're going to be in a breakout room with the expert.
They're almost finished. I should back and check. They
Okay.
said they'll wrap it up.
All right, thanks.
All the way up here.
But Leo, also Texas is going to be playing UTSA. Who are people in San Antonio you're going to cheer for? No, I don't know. Are you going to go on record? Oh, yes, I'm going to call you as a witness and have the court reporter put it on record.
Thanks, good seeing you.
It's just a recalibration thing. It can't be that hard. Just reset the spring. How hard could it be?
Recall back from the gentleman again.
No.
So there should be some updated stuff in your package. Okay, let's start.
Can I see the file on Rick Contreras, please? We've been having some technical difficulties today, but I think all the kinks have stopped. We shall see. All right, here you are. Thank you. I see now that he is supposed to be here. Rick Contreras.
We're confirmed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Tran. Sergio Chavez. Thank you. Lana Ariana Ganal. Enrique Cura. Bashan.
Yes, Judge.
Your Pittsburgh Steeler fan is here.
Looking good. Looking good. Looking good.
Okay, Cornelia says Florida and Miami are looking good too. So is that the same kind of looking good?
Florida's been down hard for a while.
It's time for them to rise up.
Can I ask you to sign something really quick?
What is it?
An agreed non-disclosure, state signature on it.
Oh, you have to give it to the clerks and then.
Okay. It's not, it's just a non-disclosure.
Judge, may I approach?
Yes.
I just wanted to let you know, I have a couple inmates from the both the courts to do a plea. It's my understanding you guys are gonna resume trial. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. My understanding, if not today, Monday, I will be available to come Monday.
Who's your client?
It's Michael Hernandez. And I'm confirming with Daniel on it through email, so he's gonna get back to me, hopefully regarding the plea for Monday.
All right, could I see the file on Michael Hernandez, please? And is your client out here?
He's not out here, Judge. I just got back from another court because I'm gonna do another plea over there. I can even come back or whatever.
All right, just make sure you're back by 11, no later than 11.
By 11?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Okay, this is not needed. I thought it was. All right, do y'all have the original of this Joshua Melee?
You mean the original order?
Yes.
That was basically what the state had provided me. That they had sent me a digital copy that they had seen. I know it's not very quality.
It is not.
I say it's on, it actually was Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren is right here, so I'm gonna see if they have an original or something they can print out.
Yep.
Sure.
I did notice that when I printed it. It was
All right, thank you.
Does that make sense? It's a little bit nuanced, but just to be clear, it's not that it's, that is, he calls it. He was at. Sunday, correct, but I was pretty upset. Yeah, I was. Not one. It's okay. He's one. Late in jail, these guys. How long for you? Yeah, from that. Right, right. That's Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Have they finished with their? All right.
Yeah. That's what we're on the.
All right, could I see the parties who are here on Cavazos? Can I see y'all in the back? And Ms. Ferguson, can I see you in the back as well, please?
That's. Yeah. Or no, it's the mom, the child. Yeah, yeah. Oh. That's the funny. See.
Aguilar.
So I think. I think so, yeah. This one. And then. For one witness, but then one that all the rest.
You have to stay by the night involved. And mayor involved.
Oh, yeah, this is their first.
Thank you.
Is he in custody or on bond?
He's on bond here.
All right, can I see the file on Mr. Castillo, please?
Well, I'll see you on the morning.
All right, could I see the parties on Robert Castillo? And I think that's Daniel. All right, Mr. McLean, you were conferring with Daniel, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, just give us 5 minutes. I think Daniel stepped out.
No problem,
And
Judge.
then we'll
Thank
take
you.
it up.
Thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
We'll be here.
What? Oh, I.
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Did Diane?
Oh, thank you. On this one, that's on now, I attach the copy that was signed by the state. So this is the original one, it's been signed. Oh, you know what? Let me write that on there.
Just may I approach you?
Yes.
Just turn in my paperwork for
Okay.
the.
All right, once they swear him in, and how much time are you asking for?
Actually, that's what I wanted to approach on, Judge.
Yes.
Really what Mr. Montes was, so there is a 10 days as a condition of the plea, which we were
Oh,
gonna
I
ask for.
usually give GPS.
And so we were gonna ask for that, and what he was wanting is to see if he can get through Monday. Because there was some things that he wanted to take care of, mainly, and I think he's got everything squared away with his work. He wants to take his daughter to school on the Thursday. And so if the court could let him report, like if we could do plea and sentence today, if the court would maybe give him till the end of Monday to report.
So
to
is
the
he
DL.
doing 10 days straight?
He was gonna ask for the ELN,
So I mean, is he going to do 10 days
Oh.
full house?
10 days full house arrest, yes.
Okay.
And so that was really his only question. If he would have to report the same day, then we would ask for a PSR sometime next week. If the court would let him do the plea and sentence today and report, like end of the day, Monday, he would be willing to do that as well, whatever the court.
All right, sure. No problem.
And 1-0-2-1-1-4-6. I typed that correctly in balance.
And Bashan, I'm signing the documents you sent to me. You're welcome.
Really should be.
Okay, we are ready. Don't need the restrooms when he comes back. Apparently I have to go talk to Clayton Hayden. I have Michael Kilgore, but I have to go confer with Clayton Hayden on that. And then I have the other gentleman that Lindsay represents, I'm gonna work on right now. So I know we're on a time crunch.
Oh, perfect. This is the case number history. No, for his name. This is a German manager. I don't know this ID case manager. Searching by his name. No, it's just like, see it, sorry, let's see it. And look, let's see. Can you show me the judge, and the director, the chair? Hey, you want to get that, sorry.
Oh, just one moment. Oh, let me see you in the back. It's about one of these documents I have.
Yeah, that's another. Maybe email that, we can have a- Awesome. Thank you. So she did it. Victoria Fernandez. She did it. Yes. The judge sent it back to his. Okay.
Joshua Montes?
Good morning. Mr. Miller.
All right, if I can get, can Mr. Contreras and her line, we're ready. Contreras. Thank you.
Leo, you said Miller, right?
Good. Okay. Thank you. I'll talk. Yes.
Oh, all right.
Are we doing something?
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, Samuel Albert.
For present, Judge.
All the way to the front. Then I go.
All right, yes, counsel.
Give me 1 second, just let me fill up the rest of the cases.
Okay.
All right, Judge. So after talking to Mr. Albert, now that the court has appointed me on CM 118202, CM 118206, and CM 118347, I talked to my client. There's a plea offer that was tendered on the three indicted cases.
Mhm.
My client has rejected those plea offers.
Okay.
And with regards to the CM cases that I just listed, my client would like to ask the court to have a bond set on those 3 cases.
All right, so let's address the indicted cases. State, how long do you expect a jury trial to last?
Since it's, I imagine, it depends on whether it's try each one separately, Judge.
Mhm.
But they're all sort of connected, so it would be proving up the cases all together in a sense. So it'd be probably 2 days at least, but not including jury selection.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if we can get a jury trial date? And we'll say 3 days, and that includes jury selection. Mr. Albert, you're requesting a jury trial?
Yeah, this is my first offer. I don't even understand why we going to trial. They just offered me one time.
Well, here's the thing. In this court, I require that the state tender an offer.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you can accept it or reject it. Do you need time to think about the offer?
I kind of thought it might take 2 years right now.
No. Here's my thing. Do you need time to think about the state's offer?
I just want to bond sit in my case.
No, my question is, do you need time to think about the offer that has been tendered to you? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. Mr. Cabanas, are you able to come back next week?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, when can we call this next week for a plea deadline date? All right, so we're gonna come back on August 22nd, and at that time, you need to let the court know if you wish to have a jury trial and counsel on August 22nd. I'll hear your motions to set bond on the CM case numbers.
Yes, Your Honor.
Excuse me, there's to be no cursing in this court. No, you did. So bye.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
All right, who is here on Joshua Montes? All right, and then after this, Mr. McLean will take up your case. Court is calling 2024 CR 6460. State versus Joshua Montes. Off the record. Could you have them move? All right, we're back on the record. No, there. Okay. All right, we're back on the record. Can I have parties announce state? Defense?
Robert Jimenez for Mr. Montes, Judge.
Are you Mr. Montes?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Montes, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Montes, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated? Third, that's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe so, Judge.
Mr. Montes, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sorry, parties, is this 6?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, according to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. State recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
There have been none, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that there be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, 10 days in the Bexar County Jail as a condition, ignition interlock for half the term, and 1 year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
No objection.
State you may be excused. Okay. Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Yes.
State's recommendation for communities, for the communities supervisions for 5 years.
Any objection to the court adding that?
None, Judge.
All right. Thank you. All right. Yes. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
What I would like to ask for on Mr. Montes' behalf, Judge, is that the court consider following the plea agreement. Mr. Montes is here to take responsibility for his offense. After reviewing all the paperwork and the documents, he quickly instructed me to see if I could, work something out for him where he could take responsibility for the offense that he's here on today. The only thing that we would be asking for is, should the court see fit to grant him his probation, the 10 days that are a condition of probation, we would ask the court to consider allowing him to complete those on full house arrest. Mr. Montes does work, but he knows that on full house arrest, he will not be permitted to leave. We would ask that the court give him a few days to turn himself in for the purpose of getting fitted for the ankle monitor. And really the main purpose of that, Judge, is Mr. Montes has children. One of the children has her first day of school on Monday. And he's taken her to her first day of school pretty much every day that she's had her schooling. And so he would be asking the court to consider allowing him to turn himself in perhaps on Monday for fitting of the GPS monitor so that he could do that on Monday morning.
All right, so you're saying Monday, the 19th? All right, today is Thursday. You said he was taking his child to school when?
On Monday.
All right, so you're asking to be fitted on Monday?
Yes, Judge. Or Tuesday, whatever the court would allow us to do.
All right, how many children do you have?
2,
What are their ages?
6, and 3.
And what do you do for employment?
I work at Telecom Consultants. It's a concrete and soils lab.
Okay. So how often have you been drinking?
None since I got arrested, but before that, probably 3 days out of the week.
All right, so let me explain something to you. I know that when people drink alcohol, they don't go out drinking alcohol and saying, you know what, I'm going to get intoxicated and I'm going to go out and kill somebody. But that happens. So the way that you were out drinking and there's beer in the console, guess what? You could have been out, not intoxicated, with your 2 children, 6 and 3, in a vehicle, and there could have been somebody out intoxicated and they could have hit you all. And maybe your 6-year-old and your 3-year-old would not have survived. What I've discovered, and I haven't run the statistics, my statistics professor would be very upset with me for saying this, but what I've noticed is that people who drive intoxicated, they're usually just fine, but they end up killing other people. So don't be the cause of somebody being killed, maybe your children, because of you. You understand? This is your 3rd DWI, which tells me you have an alcohol problem. You're one of those people who cannot drink because you don't know when to stop. While you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink alcohol at all. Do you understand? All right, this is what the court is going to do. Everyone, you're all going to have to whisper. Court reporter is trying to, I'm sorry, the probation officer, Miss Abrams, is trying to hear what I'm saying, and she can't because people don't want to whisper. But they'll whisper when they come before me. So please do not whisper when you come before the court. All right, the court is finding you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 6 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. We're going to do a TAP evaluation out of custody. And if TAP recommends inpatient treatment, let's start with intensive outpatient treatment. And that's with probation. I'm going to order 120 sober meetings and 120 days. In lieu of 10 days in the Bexar County Jail, I'm going to place you on full GPS for 10 days, and that's to begin on August 20th. Do you understand? The reason why I'm allowing that, because I know there's overcrowding at the jail, and also it's not really healthy. And so you have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old who live with you, and I don't want you bringing germs back to the 6-year-old and 3-year-old. So it will be full GPS for 10 days, beginning. Is August 20th enough time, Ms. Abrams?
That should be fine, Judge.
So it's beginning August 20th. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'm going to order 150 hours of community service restitution. Once you complete parenting classes, that will be deemed satisfied. There's going to be ignition interlock for half the term. There's to be 2-year driver's license suspension. VIP Live. DWI education course. Field visit. 1 time per month for 2 months, and probation then at your discretion. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Thank you. So there'll be regular random UAs, and they will be testing for alcohol. Anything else, probation?
Okay.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful in this probation? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do better. No drinking at all.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes. Roland Miller. All right, today is plea deadline day.
Bless you. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
On this case, the state was trying to reach out to the complainant. We reach out to the complainant in person. Funny, but the family of the complainant is actually somebody that we had on the prior case that we were in contact with. It's just he was scheduling a vegan trial. We have to go out there.
All right, so I'm gonna recall this, and it's gonna be a short turnaround. If I recall this for the 29th, is that enough time?
That should be judged.
All right, we're gonna recall this for August 29th.
And Judge, just to be clear, the state has made an offer to us. We're not accepting that offer. However, because of some potential mitigating evidence that is within the statement from the complaining witness. They're reaching out to her to discuss that. So I just want to make that clear that that's where we're at this point.
All right, so August 29th would be your plea deadline date, and we'll see if the state's offer change. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court, Mr. Miller. You always do. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Humberto Caceres.
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Spanish speaker, Judge, but,
All right, today's plea deadline date.
Judge, we have an offer from the state. He's agreed to accept it. I know you, are supposed to kick us out of here at 11 for your trial. Can we recall this for Tuesday? I cannot come back at 1:30. I had to take my wife to physical therapy at 2:00. So
Are you able to come on Monday?
Monday, I've got a long docket, but I can come Monday, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, Caceres is going to be a plea. Can you recall it for Monday?
And we'll need an interpreter for him.
All right.
El lunes somos acepto.
All right, Deputy Laura, you can take him back. State, can you make sure the paperwork is done on Caceres? I'm sorry?
I'm working on it right now. It'll be ready by then.
All right, thank you.
Yes, Judge.
Rick Contreras.
Present, Judge.
All right, is this going to be contested?
No, Judge. Thank you. We have, with the assistance of your lovely probation department, I believe reached an agreement we can all be comfortable with.
Oh, we'll see if I'm comfortable with it.
I said I believe.
All right, if you can move this way.
I do believe. I believe I can fly. Lovely song.
But can you touch the sky?
I believe.
Which paper? What paper are you looking for?
Do you have the paperwork, Jason? Okay.
All right, court is calling 2021 CR 2910W State of Texas versus Rick Anthony Contreras. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Charles Blunt for Mr. Rick Contreras.
And are you Mr. Contreras?
Yes, ma'am.
Why were you late for court?
My bus didn't come. I was waiting, for the bus stop, it didn't come, so I went
You
back
need to
the
make
house.
plans for that.
I called the Uber and I got here within 5 minutes after court.
All right, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and First Amended Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you understand it?
yes,
Are you the same Rick Anthony Contreras who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2021 CR 2910W for the offense of possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on March 30th, 2021 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
yes, ma'am.
State?
Why the condition number one, about the second day of September 2021, here at Texas. Committed the offense of felon stop and rendered aid for violation of Section 1.
How you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Any objections?
No, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor.
Yes.
Motion, extend the individual for 18 months. Also, need to have state ISF after that have PPS for 6 months, partial after the release, monthly UAs, and sober support meetings weekly.
All right, is that the proposed agreement?
It is, Judge. That was a proposal we got from the probation department. So yes, we
Probation? Are you in agreement with this? All right, Mr. Contreras, are you waiving your right to appeal? All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is finding violation of condition number 1 true. The court is going to deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to the following. Probation is to be extended for 2 years. State ISF, and the defendant is to be taken into custody today. partial GPS upon release for employment only. For 8 months. There's going to be the UA hotline until further notice upon release. And there's going to be 120 sober support meetings in 120 days. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Contreras, this is something that probation is recommending for you. Do not come back here for nonsense. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You know what you're supposed to do. And one of the things is reporting. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you do not understand?
No.
And what is happening with these other cases? Because they're not going to transfer him.
That is correct, Your Honor. I really haven't had a chance to look at them. I've talked to Mr. Bond. It may be a plea, it may be a dismissal, but that would be done in the next week.
We're going to ask the court to bring him back in about 2 weeks. We believe there's about a 30-day wait for state ISF. So we're going to ask the court to bring him back in 2 weeks for the resolution on the new cases,
All right.
if that's okay with the court.
We'll recall this back August 29th. Is that enough time? All right, Ms. Ferguson, on the new cases, he's coming back on August 29th.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
I take it right now.
Rosa Montoya. Where's Rosa Montoya? Come forward. All right, do y'all have what the discovery amount will be?
Judge, the state has conferred with us this morning, and we're going to be applying for a pretrial diversion this morning, Your Honor.
As far as the state of where
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a PTD date for Rosa Montoya.
September 16th.
All right, September 16th. Make sure you fill out all documentation. And once you sign the reset form, you excuse. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Stephanie Clyde. Or Clyde, come forward.
Requested bonds are both the cases. They're right now, both of them are in without bond. One is an MTR and the other is a new theft
All
truck.
right, so Mr. Young, the state has a witness that's coming in at 11. They tell me the witness should be very short. So are you able to hang around?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I know you've been waiting to have this bond set. So if you could just hang around.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Would never see.
All right, Deputy Laura.
Yes, Judge.
Robert Castillo.
I want to give this her one. Yes, please. Thank you.
All right, have you had a chance to speak to the expert?
We have, Your Honor.
And so is discovery satisfied or not?
Not quite yet. What we've done, we have both our experts on Zoom this morning. Mr. Gallant had a chance to confer with the state's expert out of Nashville. We are in the process of getting the report from the state's expert. It's about 140 gigs, so I've got to bring a hard drive to download that from the state next week. We've also made arrangements so that Mr. Gallant can get a copy of the state's experts download and report. We're also making arrangements so that our expert can actually copy the actual Tesla drive. And that's got to be done through the property room, which I think there's going to be some hoops to jump through with that. Mr. Escobar has graciously agreed to try to have the detective present so that we can facilitate that copying so that we can get that done. And then we can just kind of compare the two.
And Judge, on that last point, the defense's expert stated that if they had a chance to look at that original that original thumb drive, that they'd be able to verify that what we're providing is the exact copy and that it's in essence the same thing.
All right. Okay, then is 45 days enough?
It should be enough.
That should be enough. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna email the detective and try and set up a time within the next 2 weeks to get this done.
All right.
Just for the record as well, the conference with the experts today talked about some glitches in possibly with the software with Tesla. Mr. Escobar has subpoenaed Tesla to get their records on this particular case. We're going to do the same so that we can try and find out if there's a way that we can get the information that we're actually missing from Tesla itself. And so
Just so reports where we previously subpoenaed Tesla, they had provided what they had. That was something that we had already provided, I believe, to defense a while ago. There were other videos that Tesla had provided.
But yeah.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a 45-day reset on Robert Castillo, please. All right, we're gonna come back on September 30th. Norma, what page is he on? All right, thank you. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. You always do. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I will be out of town on September 30th.
Okay. Are you here on October 1st?
Right. No, hold on. One second. October 1st is a Monday or a Tuesday, Judge. I will not be in town, so my first day back that week will be Thursday, the 3rd.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, put this on October 3rd, please.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wrigley, will you retain?
I am.
Chong Tran,
For present, Judge.
come forward.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you want to refund?
Why are you late for court?
Yes.
Why were you late for court?
Oh, I come here at 9.
No, you were not here.
9:15, Judge, you're right.
Yes. Your court setting is at 9 a.m. It is not at 9:15 a.m. You understand?
Same.
So let me explain something to you. I don't ask people to do what I won't do, what I will not do. People say, Judge, you can be late, but I'm here before 9. You need to make plans to be here before 9, because otherwise what could potentially end up happening is a warrant could be issued for your arrest. Do you understand?
Fine, yes.
All right, where are we on discovery?
We're still, there's one more disc they're gonna give us. We'd like one more discovery setting if we could, Judge.
All right, what's on the disc allegedly?
Judge, I have no idea. It's not even labeled, but it just says that it's in relation in this case.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this case, can you do a 30-day reset for discovery?
Yes, ma'am. September 16th.
All right, September 16th.
Yes, Judge.
Once you sign the reset form, you excuse. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court, but next time, dress appropriately, but be on time. Okay? Thank you.
Have a seat.
Judge.
Yes.
Are you ready to proceed on bottoms or? Yeah, maybe. Yes. Judge, we have a plea. Judge, we're gonna.
I'm good.
Yeah, they're gonna have to come back at 1:30.
Yes, Your Honor. We'll be back.
All right, so Stephen Rowley, 1:30. Deputy Laura, Stephen Rowley, 1:30, if you'll put a hold on him. And if you all want to hang around, you can. The state is telling me their witness should take maybe 15, 20 minutes. Where is Mr. Gary Churak?
He was here. He might have stepped out, Your Honor.
All right.
Let me check the back.
All right, if you'll call him. Christopher Esquivel.
Judge, you would reset for trial.
All right, thank you. All right, Rick Contreras is done. Sergio Chavez.
Coming back at 1:30 for Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Deputy Laura, if you'll hold him, he's on page 2. Catherine Aguilar. Just, Mr. Young, that's your client. John Young, Catherine Aguilar, she's in custody. All right, we'll have her, all right, just hang tight. But you can just put them on hold. Anthony Villarreal. Anthony Villarreal. All right, that's gonna be 1:30. It may be sooner. Yes, you may take a break. Jordan Davis, that's been reset, correct?
It's gonna get reset, Judge. I confirm with my client. We're gonna request the pre-trial to get discovered.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you give them a 30-day reset?
Yeah, September 16th.
All right, it'll be September 16th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Fred Meneses.
There's not everybody's here, missing one.
Oh, we're missing a juror. Okay, let's continue. We're missing a juror. Oh, people are like, yay. All right, and on this trial, defense, state, if you all can give a copy of the proposed jury charge to defense when he comes.
Sure.
He's already back in.
Oh, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. John Tharnert. All right, thank you. Jason Bustos. All right, let me see the file on Bustos. James Katina. Tawana Adams.
For Joanne Delbosque, that's a third ATR. We had some issue with the map about whether or not we got notice of appointments, and we just learned that there's #1 allegations that I don't think Joanne Delbosque was aware of.
Okay.
We need to check with the map for all those cases. And I confirmed with Jason, he needs more time to look at the #1 office before making a recommendation.
Okay,
We come back in maybe the next 2 weeks.
just give me a moment. Let me grab your file. All right, Tawana Adams, has she been brought out?
She's still downstairs.
Okay. All right, are you able to speak with her outside of court? Okay. All right, so how much time do you want?
I think 2 weeks, that way that we can find out, are we on the #1 cases, and with Jason, if we can get a recommendation. From him, but he needs to look at those cases.
All right, Jason, how much time do you need on Tawana Adams?
Sorry, Judge.
Oh, no
There's
problem.
something for once.
I know you all are juggling a lot of balls today.
Need a very report on those #1 cases.
Okay, Judge.
I can reset it the week of September 9th or the
That
week
should be
of
fine,
September
Judge.
16th.
Yeah, I mean, Judge, it's just cases that they're just, we didn't have them in front of us, and that's the only thing that's alleged. That's a second degree or, no, it's a second. And then a possession less than a gram.
It is a
Marijuana is not as far, it's just, it probably got dismissed that.
It'll be a 2nd degree UCW with prior felony
So
conviction.
y'all want it the week of September 16th?
That's fine, Judge.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on this one, can I get a date for September 16th? It's discovery and maybe disposition. It's Tawana Adams.
She's in custody. I'll do a jail visit.
All right, September 16th. Yes. Yeah, see if you can get the interpreter.
It's closed.
What page is she on?
Page 7, Judge.
Thank you. Who's here on Jason Bustos? Jason Giovanni Bustos?
That's the one that you asked for, that. That's with Ron Roster,
All right, Ms. Ferguson.
and he's gonna be in murder trial.
No. Bustos, is he in custody?
Yes, he is.
All right, and where's his murder case set?
In the 379 alcohol.
All right, Deputy Laura, if you can let Jason Bustos know that his attorney is in a jury trial. And Ms. Ferguson, let's recall this back for the week of September 9th.
September 10th.
All right. Maria, we're missing a juror. Then, Mr. Young, if the state is ready, we can take up your bond matter. Have you conferred with the state? John Young, have you conferred with the state on Ms. Clyde?
Really need to warm up and pray, Your Honor.
All right, no problem.
Yes, we've now conferred again, Your Honor.
All right, are you all ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Stephanie Clyde. I'm gonna learn how to pronounce your
Please,
name.
please. When you have a vowel after a consonant, the
Okay.
former letter is long.
Let me just tell you, I have discovered that the rules I was taught in elementary school no longer apply. Like I was always taught when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. That doesn't apply in every name. So
That was a long time ago.
people are just making up their own rules.
Names are like that. You can pronounce your name any way you want. You can pronounce Smith from, Jon.
Yes. All right, so here's my question before we go on the record. Does she need a bond also set in the 8049?
She does. I filed electronically both.
Oh, no, I have that. I just wanted to be certain.
Yes.
All right, we're going to go on the record. Court is calling 2022 CR 8049 and NIMAC number 737749, State of Texas versus Stephanie. How do you pronounce your last name?
Plead.
Cleed.
Yes, ma'am.
Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
John Young.
All right, we're here on a motion to set bond. Let's start with NIMAC number 737749. My understanding that she has been in custody for 9 months on this case. Is that correct?
I believe so, Your Honor.
All right. And what bond are you requesting?
We're requesting, and we have agreed to $5,000 bonds on each of them.
All right. Is that the agreement state?
Yes,
What is Miss Clyde's?
Plead.
Cleeds. I'm sorry, I leave the E. What is Miss Cleed's criminal history?
She has at least 2 prior theft charges.
Yes, most definitely. Because that's why we're here.
Yes.
Let me see what page she is on.
On page 9.
Thank you. Oh, no, I'm able to see it. I see it now in Odyssey and also on the docket sheet. All right, defense and state, you've agreed to $5,000 bond on that case?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Stephanie Cleed.
All right, Ms. Cleed, have you ever had any issues with drug use?
I have,
All right, and what drugs?
meth.
Right,
Methamphetamine.
all right. Do you have a place to stay?
Yes, I do.
Who would you be staying with?
My girlfriend, Laura Sabatino, she's actually here in the courtroom right now.
The white shirt in the front row, you're on.
All right, and is she in agreement with your staying with her?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So in this case, I'm going to set the bond at $5,000. I'm going to ask for random UAs, waive fees. I'm going to ask for 120 sober meetings and 120 days. Is there anything, any other conditions you need so that you can be successful on bond?
No, ma'am.
All right, now, next, let's move to cause number 2022 CR 8049. Is that agreement to that bond?
Yes, Your Honor,
And what is the agreement?
$5,000, Your Honor.
All right, the court will set your bond at $5,000. Random UAs, waive fees, 120 sober meetings, and 120 days. And just so there's no confusion with the person who is monitoring her, I'm going to have this case run concurrent with NIGHTMAG number 737749. So they want to expect her to do 240 days. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on each of these cause numbers, I need a reset date. All right, so both of these will be set for August 22nd. If you'll give her a reset form, please. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Yes, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, can I have that sheet back that I just gave you? Oh, no, it isn't. Just one moment. All right, thank you. Anthony Villarreal. Come forward. And Deputy Laura, you can start taking people down since, or put them in holding since the jurors are ready. Yeah, the jurors made it. Counsel, you're on this side. All right, who is the prosecutor on this case? It is Anthony Villarreal. All right, State, did you have a chance to speak with the witness?
I did it all.
Okay. Miss Ferguson? Sir, how old are you?
I'm 32.
All right, Miss Ferguson, can you set this in 3 weeks for a plea deadline date, please? All right, we're gonna come back on September 5th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. Do you understand?
Yes.
And thank you so much for dressing appropriately for trial. I really do, I mean, for court. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Go fill this out real quick.
Nicole Kilgore?
Michael. Kilgore.
Michael, it's Nichel. Michael Kilgore.
And Judge, can you take us offline so we can discuss a private matter?
Court is calling 2021 CR 10255, State of Texas versus Jose Delbosque. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Allie Jackson and Zach Dunn for the state.
for the defense?
Gary Chad for the defense.
All right, and are both parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're Mr. Delbosque?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Thank you. All right, so it's my understanding, State, you're calling this one witness, and then we will proceed in the afternoon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And State, we're off the record. State, have you provided a list of your witnesses to the court reporter?
Yes, our advocate has.
All right, thank you. You ready?
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. So ladies and gentlemen, as I informed you yesterday, what we're going to do is we're going to take this witness, then we'll take a break for you all to have your lunch, and then we will come back at 1:30, and I'll finish up other matters for my morning docket. All right, State, call your next witness.
The state calls Melissa Baldwin to the stand.
All right, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter and members of the jury can hear. State.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hi, ma'am. How are you today?
Good.
Good. What do you do for a living, Miss Baldwin?
I'm a forensic scientist in the serology and DNA section at the Bexar County Criminal Investigation Laboratory
And how long have you been employed there?
for almost 7 years. Can I
And-
get closer to the mic? Yes, thank you.
And I apologize, you said how many years?
Almost 7.
And what are your duties?
I screen items of evidence for the presence of or possible presence of biological fluids that could include semen, saliva, and blood, as well as perform DNA analysis.
And what is your educational background?
I have a bachelor's degree in biology from the University of Houston in 2015, as well, or excuse me, 2014, as well as a master's degree in forensic chemistry from Southeast Missouri State University in 2017.
And ma'am, is your laboratory accredited?
Yes, it is.
And is it accredited through an organization called the Texas Forensic Science Commission?
No.
What is it accredited through?
It's accredited under ANAB or ANAB, which stands for the ANSI National Accreditation Board. The Texas Forensic Science Commission does ensure that all Texas labs are accredited.
So they essentially work in conjunction
With
respect to accreditation.
Yes.
And can you kind of go into what accreditation means in general terms with respect to a lab?
It just ensures that the laboratory is performing up to the standards of the forensic science community. That could be anywhere from proficiency testing all analysts to our safety protocols to completing audits.
And it's like you've done this before, ma'am. You mentioned proficiency testing. Do you mind kind of briefly describing what that is?
A proficiency test is given to us by an independent company, and it essentially tests to make sure that every analyst is performing and essentially getting correct answers on this test. So they give us practice samples, and as long as we all get the correct answers on these samples regarding what type of biological fluids present or DNA profiles, and ensures that within the laboratory, we are all also consistent.
And so you've been proficiency tested before?
Yes.
And with respect to licensure, are you licensed as a forensic analyst in the state of Texas?
Yes, I am.
And who is that license basically garnered through or under?
The Texas Forensic Science Commission.
And what did licensing require?
It requires that we have a certain amount of educational background, as well as readings, literature readings, and basically within subject or discipline that we're qualified to perform our duties.
And what further kind of specialized training do you have in this area?
I completed on-the-job training when I was first hired in the laboratory.
And have you testified in a court before as an expert witness?
Yes, I have.
A rough ballpark on how many occasions?
Probably between 10 to 15.
And does that include expert testimony in courts in this county?
Yes.
Now, in brief terms, can you kind of re-explain to the members of the jury what serology is?
Serology is and the way it relates to this case, forensic serology, is the identification of biological fluids, which would include anything from semen, saliva, blood, in regards to any forensic evidence that's submitted to the laboratory.
And now, Ms. Baldwin, did you work on a case with respect to the defendant, Jose Delbosque?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, may I briefly approach?
Yes.
Now, ma'am, I just handed you what's been previously marked for identification purposes only as State's Exhibit number 6. Ma'am, do you recognize what that is?
Yes.
And what is it?
It is a forensic serology report that I wrote.
And with respect to your report, is there a detective that essentially kind of oversaw the overall investigation in this case?
Yes.
Okay, and is that individual mentioned in the report?
Yes.
And who is that?
Detective Brian Bigler.
And there's mention of a CIL, the letters CIL. What is a CIL case number?
CIL stands for the Criminal Investigation Laboratory, and the CIL case number is a number that's given to evidence, and it correlates to any law enforcement agency case number. So anytime evidence is submitted to a lab under a law enforcement agency case number, it also correlates to that given CIL number.
And what is the CIL number in this case?
2101358.
And you mentioned there's correlation with an SAPD or San Antonio Police Department case number here?
Yes.
And what is that number?
That is 210-40257.
Now, with respect to serology reports or forensic serology reports, is it normal course to put the complainant and the suspect identification information in that report?
Yes.
So who is the defendant with respect to this report, this case?
It is Jose Delbosque.
And I know the last name for the complainant might be a little tough to pronounce, but do you mind going through what the complainant's name is as listed? Or identifier with respect to SAPD, the CIL. Do you mind kind of going into what evidence you reviewed with respect to this case? And what I mean specifically, were you on scene that day?
No.
Is it typical for you to work in the lab and evidence be brought to you?
Yes.
Did that happen in this case?
Yes.
And who was it brought to you by?
Well, it wasn't specifically brought to me, but it was brought to the laboratory by a Megan T. Cousins from the San Antonio Police Department.
And with respect to the items of evidence that were given to you by her, who were they in relation to, or what types of, with respect to the evidence you received, who are they in relation to?
Well, the laboratory received evidence from the complainant and the suspect.
Okay. And with respect to the suspect, what were the types of things that you had to look at with respect to your work?
I examined a tape-sealed suspect sexual assault evidence collection kit that was said to come from Jose G. Delbosque.
And what are some of the items that you would typically find in a sealed suspect sexual assault evidence kit?
Typically, it would be anything from penile swabs, maybe underpants, hand swabs, really anything that could potentially help in the course of an investigation.
And what was in this case?
In this case, there were penile swabs, foreign material collection envelope, which contained bilateral hand swabs, right fingernail swabs, left fingernail swabs, as well as a saliva standard.
Now, outside of the kind of kit with respect to the defendant, was there another kit that you examined?
Yes, there was.
And again, just for total clarity, who was that in reference to or regards to?
That was a tape sealed sexual assault evidence collection kit that was said to be collected from Elise Morn.
And with respect to that kit, what were some of the items that you viewed evidentiary wise?
In this kit, there were the vaginal cervical swabs, vulva swabs, oral swabs, underwear, a dried secretion envelope that contained perioral swabs, neck swabs, bilateral breast swabs. There was also fingernail swabs, head hair combings, and a saliva standard.
Now, with respect to the kind of analysis that you conducted right through your work in the laboratory, did you find anything identifiable with respect to the penile swabs?
Yes.
And what was that?
I identified nucleated cellular material on the penile swabs.
And in general terms, what exactly is that?
There are basically cells, body cells that have a nucleus, meaning that they contain DNA. And in this case, it was noted that I identified them because generally these nucleated epithelial cells, you only really see them in areas that have mucous membranes. So the mouth, the vagina, you really would not expect them on the penile swabs on the exterior. And so that was noted and that sample was retained for DNA analysis.
And now, did you conduct any chemical tests or presumptive chemical tests in your work on this case?
Yes, I did.
And what were those?
I conducted a presumptive test for the possible presence of saliva, as well as the presumptive test for the possible presence of semen.
Now, with respect to the possible presence of saliva, did you have any positives?
Yes, I did.
And what is a positive in general terms?
In general, it means that there is a strong likelihood that saliva was present. We call these presumptive tests because they could have false positives, false negatives. But in this instance, they're tested positive for the possible presence of saliva.
And on what swabs or items was there the presumptive test for a positive with regards to saliva?
On it, the items that tested positive were the vulva swabs, the neck swabs, and the bilateral breast swabs.
Now, with respect to the rest of your kind of work on this case, what other kind of findings or opportunities did you have to review the items of evidence?
I also tested the underwear for the possible presence of saliva, and that was negative. In regards to semen, I tested for the possible presence of semen. I tested the vaginal cervical swabs. That was positive. In the event of a positive presumptive test for semen, the next step would be to identify spermatozoa or sperm on the item. And in this case, I did not. If you then have a negative result for that, the next step would be to perform an additional presumptive test that tests for another component of semen called P30. And in this case, it was also negative. So in totality, this item, the vaginal cervical swabs, would be deemed negative for semen.
And there's kind of a last or a latter section of your report. It's, if my understanding is correct, an opportunity for remarks that you can make with respect to your analysis in certain cases.
Yes.
And were there anything here that you wanted to note or that that happened with respect to your analysis?
The bilateral hand swabs that came from the suspect sexual assault evidence collection kit was retained for DNA analysis, as well as the positive samples that I had mentioned previously. However, the bilateral hand swabs, I did not perform any serological testing on them. I just straight retained them for DNA analysis, as well as the 2 saliva standards from both kits for DNA analysis.
And just to be totally clear, serology and kind of the analysis therein is very different from any type of forensic DNA analysis, correct?
Correct.
And you are trained in forensic DNA analysis.
Yes, I am.
But is it common in your experience to get a case such as this one and perform the kind of serological analysis, and maybe another party or another member of the lab would do the DNA forensic analysis?
Yes, that does happen.
And is that what happened in this case?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right, defense, any questions?
Yes, ma'am. Now, you mentioned earlier that your lab is under, I guess, evaluation by an independent agency?
For accreditation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay. And part of that investigation are audits, are they not?
yes.
And isn't the fact that the Bear County Crime Lab failed audits?
I don't believe that there have been any failed audits. There
Hasn't, been- oh, excuse me. Isn't it the fact that they failed audits because of backlog of work that was not done timely?
I'm not privy to that information. It doesn't seem familiar.
And isn't it the fact, one of the reasons was that staff was short-staffed, was the findings?
I'm not sure.
Okay. So you don't remember seeing any of the news articles or the news on Ken's or anything about the failures of the Bear County Crime Lab?
No, I can't say that I have.
Pass the witness.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Is this witness excused?
Excuse from the state, Your Honor.
Excuse from the defense.
All right, the rule has been invoked. You're not allowed to discuss your testimony with anyone except for attorneys for the state or the defense. Do you understand? All right, and you'll please leave the exhibit with the court reporter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you your lunch break at this time. And we will be back hopefully at 1:30. It depends on how my docket goes this morning, all right? Remember the instructions I've given you. You're not allowed to start deliberating about this case whatsoever. You're not allowed to do any investigation or view or anything. Everything that you need to learn about this case is to come from inside the courtroom and nowhere else. Does everyone understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And please make sure your badges are always visibly displayed because sometimes attorneys will talk about cases, not necessarily this case, but other cases, and they'll know not to talk around you because you'll have your juror's badge. Okay? All right, you may step down. Oh, and Gary, you have a copy of the jury chart?
Yeah, I do, Judge.
Okay.
I'll look it over.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely need to make some changes, Judge.
Yeah, there's gonna be some.
Oh, no, I just always tell her to put every single possible thing in there.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Which I was a lot of later than did have a problem with the entire person. She hired me very short time
All
ago.
right, so let's do this. The state's gonna come down, they're gonna bring her out and we'll take it.
And I'm gonna be asking for a job.
Okay. All right, thank you. And Jennifer.
Yes.
Can you recall the interpreter, please? Thank you.
really forget.
Just so you know my schedule, I have a 1:30 doctor appointment.
Oh, no, no, I know. We're gonna take it up right now. You'll be the first as soon as she comes out. I just like for the inmates to know what's going on.
Thanks.
Oh,
We get great people, though.
yes.
You know, that's why I was so successful in juvenile.
Mhm,
The kids never got in trouble with that because I saw them every weekend.
mhm.
And so they didn't get head up about some issue that may or may not have been important, but it was them.
Mhm.
And as long as I talked to them each weekend and kind of talked to them, my kids didn't get in trouble.
See, you know what? You and I are the same because I would go visit clients every Saturday.
Sunday was fun.
Yes. And I would take the bus. And sometimes I would walk. That's how I stayed in shape, I guess. And I would see them every week, even if it's just to say hi, because sometimes I think attorneys forget. Sometimes the only person your client sees is you, like their parents, nobody's coming, so. Mhm. And then when my clients were younger, they're like 17 or 18, I would try to see them more often. Because they're young, they make rash decisions.
I started doing
Mhm.
because she told me maybe in the stock.
Oh, that's right. I keep telling you to write your memoirs.
No, I believe you. I mean, should I not sign it? This one doesn't have another line.
I thought they were gonna start.
Oh, it's a
putting out
supplement?
seats in the back on there, but I've seen a couple of them on the sidewalk. What I wanna do is get some that are really ready to domino.
Okay. Yes, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna plant them.
Yep.
All right, and Norma, on John Young's client, John Young, what's your client's name? John Young. John, what's your client's name?
Aguilar.
All right, can you pull the file on Aguilar?
Huh? Yeah. That's just a slow. It's slow. Huh. Want to go eat after this, or did you go something? Nah, we'll go eat. Something easy. Like Mexican food, you want Mexican food? Yeah, I'm fine with that.
No, this is just in the file.
So here's the.
Oh, no, it is. I just wanted to read it. Yes. Information is key. All right, so Mr. Young, your client wants a jury trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Aguilar, if you can come down, please. And this is criminal trial division. All right, Miss Aguilar. Today is your plea deadline date. Are you requesting a jury trial? All right, state, this is a drug case. How long do you expect the trial to last? All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Miss Aguilar, 2 days. All right, it'll be November 4th in Impact Court.
Sure.
All right, they'll bring you over dressed for trial. And they'll bring you over in the clothing that you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, let your attorney know. And Mr. Young, if there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know.
There shouldn't be, Your Honor.
You actually want to do this?
On my best.
You guys wanna do-
Salvation Army on the south side.
Mhm.
We have to make a trip of love.
You know what? I used to go to J.C. Penney's. One time I went to, well, the first time I was a brand new attorney, I went to Dillard's. I said, my client will be looking beautiful, right? And I submitted the bill to the court and the court was saying, Stephanie, this is too much money. Next time, don't do that. I'm like, okay. But how was your one?
Thank you. Yeah, okay, you seen all that part.
Yes.
I'm gonna upload that one.
All right, you guys can't do it today? All right, have Ms. Ferguson, have them pull the file.
Anthony Villarreal.
It's been great. I can't complain. Mhm. Oh, some of them are. Some are Walmart. Somebody told me Trader Joe's was great, but my mom always says the most time we spend is either at work or at home. So your work environment should be beautiful. And you know, we deal with a lot of cases that some are heartbreaking, you know, as a defense attorney. And we see a lot of bad things. So I can always turn back here and I think of my mom and I see the flowers. I'm like, oh, okay.
So we'll go up and watch.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's your mom. Yeah, saying, hey. Oh, no, I love plants. I think they're so beautiful. And I think they add, even the ones that are not, you know, flowers per se. I just think plants are great. When I was growing up, we used to have, I don't know what the technical name is for it, but we would have buttercups on my way to school. They're the pink flowers and they have the yellow stem inside and you would touch them and they would get on your hand. I don't see any buttercups anymore. I've been trying to plant, you know, find buttercups and I can never find honeysuckle and I love honeysuckle.
Again.
Yes, you do not. They would fly around everywhere.
Not bad. Oh, wait.
Oh, yes.
If it's a misdemeanor. it doesn't
Looking on
matter,
it.
right?
Okay, so
I guess
John
dismissal.
Thunard, when you want to recall him? All right, Ms. Ferguson, Thunard is going to be recalled for Monday, if you'll give him a reset form. All right, thank you. Mr. Thunard?
I think he's on the hall.
All right.
Yes, sir.
No.
You can put her. Okay.
Rita Dela Cruz.
However. Okay, so the nightmares, what do we put? Do we put this long ass number? No.
All right, have you conferred with the state? Yes.
So I believe that case is less than a month with the possession less than a gram. So you don't have any lines back.
All right, there are other things in the motion to revoke. Am I not correct on that?
No, gotta talk about that, it's just, but that's one for bringing up jurisdiction.
All right, I'm aware. I think there are other things to proceed on. All right, they're gonna bring her up and we'll proceed on it. All right, thank you. Oh, counsel, do you need this? It's Rita Dela Cruz. No problem. All right, are the parties ready on Adam Stacy?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, parties will come down. Where's Mr. Stacy? Court is calling 2022 CR 7131 and 2023 CR 0036, State of Texas versus Adam Gene Stacy. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense? Are you Mr. Stacy? And each of the cause numbers, did you review the documents entitled motion to revoke community supervision and First Amendment motion to revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand them? Are you the same Adam G. Stacy who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 7131 for the offense of theft $2,500 to $30,000 on October 29, 2023 for a term of 5 years? Is that you? Are you the same Adam G. Stacy who was placed on community supervision in 2023 CR 0036 for the offense of assault family second offense on October 30th, 2023 for a term of 5 years? Is that you? State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violating. Okay, sure, Judge. I think it's gonna be the same on each of the cases, Your Honor. It's gonna be the number one on the First Amendment.
All right. You may proceed.
Thank you. Violating condition number one, on or about the 10th day of June 2024, there's Texas, President Adam G. Stacy committed the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle in violation of number one.
And each of the cause numbers, how do you plead to that allegation? True or not true?
What way to remain violated?
Any objections? All right. And the cause number ending in 7131. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number one, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $500 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number one? And the cause number ending in 0036. Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number one, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 5 years in prison and up to a $0 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number one? And each cause number, the court will find violation of condition number one true. Is there a proposed agreement? And the cause number ending in 7131.
Yes, there is, Your Honor. That is to deny the motion, extend the individual for 1 year into amended conditions to include state ISF, cognitive track, ISP supervision for after treatment, weekly UAs for 60 days upon release, than an MRT. And also, Your Honor, the state will be taking into consideration clause number 2024 PF 02689, which is the UUMB. The judge, we are asking for restitution in that case, if any, to Adam Wig, which is, last name is, I'm sorry, first name is Andy, sorry, Judge. Last name is spelled Nguyen, and also an individual by the name of Ruth Morales. Last name is Morales.
All right. All right, the court is not inclined to follow this agreement unless there's a reason why I should. He's on probation. And I know the state has only proceeded on one violation. Has he done anything on probation? Probation? Any objection to the court reviewing the court summary?
No.
State, Your Honor.
Judge, I can answer your question.
Yes.
It doesn't look like Mr. Stacy has made any progress on the terms of his probation.
And it's saying here that you still have criminal thinking and criminal behaviors. I don't think probation is appropriate for you. You've been given a chance. I know that when you come to this court, if there are issues, you can let the court know. They tried to conduct field visits with you, but that it was a bad address. They made due diligence to contact you through your associations. You didn't show up for your TAP interview. They sent text messages. Let me see. Text messages were sent to report to avoid a violation. So they were working with you. Email was also sent. It says no response. Then they sent another text message, no response. Then they scheduled a new appointment and sent a text message to you. And yes, you haven't appeared for anything. You haven't done anything. I'm not going to continue you.
Can I address that, Judge?
Yes.
I've talked to my clients and we've discussed that. We've discussed the issues he had while he was on probation. One of the things my client and I and state and I discussed was my client has a decent amount of back time accrued on his case. He and I discussed the possibility how if he were just to get revoked on these cases with his back time, he may be able to get parole sooner rather than later. And he expressed to me that he would prefer for us to go up and ask the court for another chance. And what he expressed to me, I think, was a sincere desire to try to use the services that probation has to try to benefit himself and to try to use those services as opposed to doing a little bit more time and flipping out on parole. We understand those services had already been made available to him and he didn't take advantage of them. However, I think him being in custody this time was sort of a wake-up call for him. And I think he has a sincere desire to try to change his life and to try to better his life and sort of break the cycle he was in. So that was sort of my client's thinking, as opposed to possibly taking maybe the easier way out in some aspects and getting flipped out on parole sooner rather than later. He would prefer to wait in jail for a bit, go to therapy and try to address some of these issues in a residential environment with the hope that that would put him on the right path so that he could successfully complete this probation and become a productive member of society.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. In cause number 2022 CR 7131, court is going to grant the motion. This will run concurrent with 2023 CR 0036. Court will order mental health and therapeutic community. You'll need to request that at the at the prison. It does not increase your length of time that you're in custody, but it can help address other issues you may have. Take in consideration 2024 PF 02689. There should be no contact and restitution to Andy Nguyen and Ruth Morales. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served. There's a $500 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? All right, you do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are in community supervision. Do you understand? All right, next we're going to proceed with 2023 CR 0036. The court is going to grant the motion. The court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrent with, I'm sorry, what was the previous cost number?
22-7131.
All right, this will run concurrent with 2022 CR 7131. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The court will recommend the therapeutic community and mental health unit. There's to be no contact with Melinda Kenney, Kenney. Court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison. I'm sorry, I previously stated that. There's to be restitution and no contact with Andy Nguyen and Ruth Morales in cause number 2024 PF 02689. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on community supervision. And each of these cause numbers, because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. And also in this cause number, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition because there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. So, Mr. Stacy, I understand sometimes people open their minds and that they want to get help after they get a motion to revoke. Probation continually tried to reach out to you to get you back in compliance, and you haven't done anything on probation. At some point in time, consequences have to happen. You understand? All right, good luck to you, okay?
Judge, I don't know if the court already addressed this, but we would request that you get credit for the time he served on both of the cases.
Oh, yes, I gave him credit for it anytime, sir.
Judge.
Judge, this one, is it over there?
Who is that with?
With him.
Oh,
I
yes.
just did it. It's right there.
Okay, thank you. There's a,
This is the night mag. That's.
okay.
I didn't have him plead true to it.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, who's here on Sergio Chavez?
I need that. This is a bit, this is huge. Thanks.
Hello, thank you for your patience.
Oh, Jessica.
All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 7420, State of Texas versus Sergio Chavez. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Good morning, Judge. Alfonso Cabañas for the defendant, Sergio Chavez.
And are you Mr. Sergio Chavez? Yes. I'm sorry, I have to learn how not to pronounce the G now. All right. And we have an interpreter here today. If you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I agree, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Norma New.
All right. Counsel, do you speak Spanish fluently?
I do, Your Honor.
And have you been able to inform your client of these documents in the Spanish language?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
Mr. Chavez, all of the documents I'm going to review with you are in English. Were those documents explained to you in Spanish?
Yes.
And did you understand them?
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
I have, Your Honor.
Did you review it with your client?
I did, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Chavez, did you review with your attorney and sign the document entitled Application for Community Supervision?
Yes.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney and understand it?
Yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chavez, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated with a child under the age of 15?
Yes.
It's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor, he did.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chavez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Were you promised anything other than the plea bargain agreement that you've reached with the state? All right, so you're saying that you were promised that you would be released?
Yes. Probation.
So you entered into agreement with the state for probation, correct?
Yes.
Anybody promise you anything other than the fact that you have an agreement with the state for probation?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a US citizen?
No.
Defense?
I need a immigration.
All right. Defense, have you had a chance to discuss the implication a plea in this case will have on your client's immigration status?
Yes, Your Honor. On at least 2 occasions, my client and I met with Justin Tullius, the immigration attorney for the MAC office. He reviewed the file with my client and I, and he went over all of the immigration consequences with my client. After that review, we decided to move forward with the plea that we have before the court.
All right, Mr. Chavez, did you have sufficient time to discuss the implications of your plea in this case with an immigration attorney?
haven't contacted him anymore because he already filed the petition.
All right, so here's my question. Do you understand what could happen to you if you enter this plea? And when I say what could happen to you, I mean the consequences of entering a plea in this case and how it will affect your immigration status in the United States.
Yes, I do understand.
All right, do you understand you could possibly be deported,
Yes,
not allowed to re-enter the United States,
yes, I do understand.
and the denial of naturalization? Did you understand?
Yes,
Are you here in the United States legally?
I am married to an American and we have a year.
All right. All right, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney?
Yes,
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $2,000 fine and the state recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
yes,
Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
yes,
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motion?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your term of community supervision be for 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 180 hours of community service restitution, parenting class, and 2-year Texas driver's license suspension. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
yes,
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
guilty.
State any evidence. Any objections?
No objection, states one, Your Honor.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you.
Did you review the waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes,
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? A right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent.
everything that my attorney told me. Right.
All right, so do you understand that today the state is going to present evidence for the court to review? They are not calling any witnesses today. Did you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, other than my client asked the court to follow the agreement with the state.
All right, the court will sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility, suspended and probated for 3 years, 180 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order the parenting classes. Once you complete that, community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. There's going to be a TAP evaluation in custody, follow TAP recommendations. My understanding from probation, at most it's 2 weeks. Counsel, if it's more than that, just come back to the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Field visits 1 time per month for 3 months, then at the probation's discretion, a $2,000 fine that will be probated, proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be a 2-year Texas driver's license suspension. And actually, I'm sorry, the court is going to order a 2-year driver's license suspension. And I'm going to ask for the victim impact panel live and DWI education. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
That's it, thank you.
All right, and I'm so sorry. I'm going to do 40 sober meetings in 40 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
40 sober meetings in 40 days. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes,
All right, we can go off the record. You could have killed your child. You cannot drink and drive. Do you understand?
Yes.
While you're on probation, you're not allowed to drink at all. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, if there are any issues, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come to the court. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we do that in English. Oh, let me hit you back with something. De nada. That's all I know.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, who's here on Rita Dela Cruz? Yes, thank you so much, Norma. It's always good seeing you. Court is calling 2019 CR 12245, State of Texas versus Rita Amanda Dela Cruz. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
Robert Gayona.
And are you Miss Dela Cruz?
Yes.
Did you review the documents entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, State's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke probation, and State's second motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Rita Amanda Dela Cruz who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 12245 for the offense of attempted possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, on March 10th, 2020 for a term of 2 years? Is that you? State?
Violated condition number 5, in Hood County, Texas, the defendant Rita Amanda De La Cruz did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer in person and or by mail for the months of April and May 2020 in violation of condition 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine? Did you understand? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1? I'm sorry, condition number 5. Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Your Honor, there's not a proposed agreement. We're going to go to the court, the state has 180 days in the jail.
She has currently 44 days on this technically charge. We have to adjust it. Credit time served. Judgment satisfied, in the alternative, it has to be the term agreement satisfactory.
All right, what has she done on probation? Has she done anything?
I don't think that she's done much, Judge, most of this case, according to her, was during.
All right, so she's done nothing? All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will find you guilty. The court is going to grant the motion, revoke you. The court will sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served. There's a $4,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. Going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You're gonna have to change your life. Otherwise, guess what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna end up becoming an old woman at the Bexar County Jail or either at somebody's prison. And with drug cases, guess what ends up happening? People who sell drugs, they don't care about you. They care about the bottom line, and their bottom line is $1, right? And if you were to end up dying for a drug overdose, they always know they have someone else to replace you. Do you have children? All right, do you want your children to end up having to identify your body? Because you see in Bexar County every day, somebody's found in a field or in a drug house from a drug overdose. That could be you, and one of your family members will have to go out and identify you. And if you've been away from your children and somebody else has been raising them, do not go there and try to act like you're the mother. Biologically, you're the mother, but you haven't been doing motherly things to them. And children will see what you do. And I know sometimes people think, oh, my children don't know that I'm a drug user. Yeah, they do. And then guess what they end up? They end up thinking that that's okay. And they end up using drugs. You understand? All right, good luck to you. When you're released, if you can't find a place for rehab, guess what? You can come back here to me and I will direct you to a place. I'll pick up the phone and call them. You understand? All right, good luck. Who's here on Michael Hernandez?
Present, Your Honor.
Is there any application?
No, Judge.
Court is calling 2024 CR 6187, State of Texas versus Michael Daniel Hernandez. And this is going to be our last case, and then we're taking our break. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel, that's for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Renee Munoz.
Are you Michael Daniel Hernandez? Keeping it 100?
Yes, sir.
All right. Counsel, have you received all of the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge, that's correct.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Hernandez, did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney?
Yes, Judge.
Did you understand it?
Yes, I have.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with attempting to take a weapon away from a police officer? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility
Yes, sir.
and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights? Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
In my opinion, he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Sir, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen?
Right.
Court, well, are you?
Yes.
All right. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain agreement with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes. I have it, Your Honor.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 6 months in the state jail facility. There are no applications. The state will take in consideration 2024 CR 6188. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
That's correct, Judge.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, have there been any such motions? Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence?
State opportunity to the one and all that. No objection.
All right, did you review the document entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes, I did.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Yes.
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes.
Yes,
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
we ask that the court follow the negotiated plea agreement, Judge.
All right, Mr. Hernandez,
Yes.
what is your relationship to Joe Hernandez?
That is my brother.
And how old is he?
He is
Approximately.
55.
And how old are you?
40.
And Jonathan Souza, that's the officer.
Yeah.
And then who is Antonio Gonzalez? And were you and the brother living at the same location or no?
Yeah.
And who lives there?
Officer and my brother.
All right, why are y'all bringing foolishness to her doorstep? People always go back to their mom's house. You all are 2 adult males. And all of this starts over a weed eater.
Yes.
And then he flicks a cigarette at you. And then the officer says, he's there trying to calm everybody down. And he says that you pick up a burrito and you throw it so hard at your brother that he can hear when the burrito hits him in the eye.
Just reaction.
What was in that burrito?
Just the end of the burrito.
What do you mean the end of
Just
the
the
burrito?
last bite, because there was nothing in it.
So you have been eating the burrito
Yeah, I just cut the glass.
and then you throw it and hit him in the eye with it.
I guess it was just the reaction I got was he goes.
Well, no, but you all are in your 50s bringing nonsense to your mom's doorstep. And I see the tattoos, so I'm sure that signifies certain things. Why are you all grown males living at your mom's home? Why don't you get your own place?
I just got out of Bible school and I just became an evangelist. It was just a wrong timing. And I was accused of something that I didn't do.
So obviously you don't, but obviously you don't believe in turning the other cheek. You hadn't got that far in the biblical text.
It's the reaction.
Understanding that cigarette phone.
Yeah.
Ways.
I got hit with the cigarette on my face.
One at a time.
Yeah, I just flickered and not meaning to hit him in the face. So it was just a reaction like that.
So with regards to this case where he hit his brother in the face with a burrito, is that still outstanding?
Dismissed, Judge. It was rejected.
So the brother, I guess, had a change of mind, because I'm sure the mom probably said, y'all are my sons, stop this foolishness.
Yes, Judge, I spoke with the brother, and he didn't want to proceed with the charge, and my client knows that it's kind of a petty thing to have started, and I've talked to my client that if a situation like that arises, you get out, you go for a walk, you kind of, deal with stressors in a positive, healthy way. And he's learning that that's going to be beneficial, because I told my client if a situation like this happens in the future and the police come, they're going to see his history, they're going to see some of his tattoos, they're going to think the worst, put him in custody, and he'll be in there for quite a while. So he's cognizant of that, Judge, and he's looking forward to using this as a learning experience. Yes.
All right, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 6 months in the state jail facility, give you credit for any time served, taking consideration 2024 CR 618. You can review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney. Did you understand it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. And Maria, you can shut it down, and we will be back. Well, take your time with your lunch. Okay.
Hope you enjoy your lunch, Judge.
All right, thank you, sir. Here's the thing. Do not get into those type of arguments. I'm sure y'all break your mom's heart. Two of her sons are fighting each other. And then obviously that wasn't a good burrito, because it was, you wouldn't have thrown it. All right, good luck to you, okay? You're welcome. Oh, is that your mom? All right, mom, don't let him stay at your house anymore. They're grown adult males. They need to do their own thing. The only thing you should be coming to your mom's house to do is mow her lawn and edge it and see if she needs help with anything. All right, good luck to you. Thank you all. Thank you.